name is Michelle Davis, and I get the privilege of working here at the IFOPA. I'm the executive director of the organization, and I've been here since about February of 2016. So I'm excited. Most of you I know and I've met before, but there are some new families. This is a new family I haven't met before, so that are here for the first time. So over the course of the next couple days, we'll all get to spend more time together and get to know each other, one another better. It's also fun to be here because for a lot of us, we're friends on Facebook, and we've never met each other in person, but we feel like we have this great relationship with each other already. So it's just a really, really special time to be here at these gatherings. So I just want to start by thanking each of you. I want to, first of all, let me back up for a second and start by thanking our sponsors who help make this event possible. So I want to start by thanking our visionary sponsors, Clementia Pharmaceuticals and Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. And then this year also we have a collaborating sponsor, and that's Blueprint Medicines. I saw Andy earlier. So over here, yeah, so Blueprint Medicines, so thank you so much. And then we also have a family gathering supporter this year, and that is BioCryst Pharmaceuticals. And we also have Kathleen that's here with us, Kathleen Beach that's here with us from BioCryst. So we're super grateful because their support helps make this meeting helps make the IFOPA be able to make this more affordable for you to be here. But even given that, we know it's a big sacrifice. How many kids were out of school today? Did some of you get to skip school today to be here, or maybe even yesterday too? So yeah, so you traveled. I know that the Theorettes drove in a snowstorm to get here. Someone else, the train went off. Their train did not go off the tracks, but there were problems on the tracks and they got delayed. So there's just been a whole bunch of things. I think that Annabelle, you spent like the entire day in Chicago in the airport by yourself with a 3-year-old. Oh, there you are. So yeah, so everybody has made this grand excursion to get here. So we just hope that the next 2 days that you are going to have this incredible time of connecting, learning, and growing. And that's what I am going to just take a minute and talk about today. So first of all, I want to say happy anniversary to the IFOPA. It's our 30th anniversary. Each of the families, when you arrived, should have received a bag, and in your bag is a cozy, comfy blanket, and it has our 30th anniversary logo on it. And I also just want to take a moment to honor Jeannie Pieper, and our 10 other founders who, in 1988, when she learned that there were other people with the disease, she wrote them each a letter on her typewriter and asked if they wanted to be pen pals. And she wrote to 17 people, and 10 of those people wrote her back, and they started a pen pal organization. And then the next year, a family said, we're going to do a fundraiser. Some of you are wearing Team Cure FOP ribbons on your name tags because of the fundraising work that you take part in. And that family started the very first fundraiser back in 1989, and that funded the very first FOP Research Symposium. So our history is long and it's rich. And it was started by Jeannie, who had the vision to say, I'm going to write to some other people that have the same disease I do and get to know one another. So just kind of like what you're doing today, getting to know one another. So even though we're 30 years old, our vision has not changed. Our vision is a cure for FOP. In the last couple of years, though, we added a couple words, accessible worldwide. We want to make sure we are the International FOP Association, that when drug treatments and a cure are eventually found, that people, no matter what corner of the world that you're living in, we have Chris Scott here from South Africa, and so that when there are cures and treatments and a cure, that people that Chris Scott is working with in Africa have access to those treatments and a cure. And then you'll see just more about what the IFOPA does. The majority of the money that we spend goes to research, because that's what's going to get us to our vision. But at the same time, we put a lot of time and effort into supporting and connecting families and to advocating for individuals with FOP and their families. It's important that we say their families. You're going to see this weekend that there are some breakout groups for siblings, and there are breakout groups for couples, because FOP is a disease that affects the whole family. There's aunts and uncles here today and good friends. So we want to make sure in our mission that it's clear that we're supporting individuals with FOP, but we're supporting families as well. And then the next thing we'll be talking about over the course of the weekend is about raising awareness worldwide. We want people, especially physicians, to know about FOP so that they are able to, number one, diagnose patients more quickly, and number two, make sure that they do no harm and that they get you the immediate access to the right kinds of care and that you need. So that is our mission statement. And again, you'll see the word worldwide through organizations like the International President's Council. We're making sure that we are reaching patients and families all over. So I know this is small and you can't read it, but what I want you to see is that I went to a meeting earlier this year in October, and they said, boy, it's called Global Genes, and it's a group of people with all kinds of different genetic diseases. And they said, there are so many incredible things that the IFOPA has done in such a short amount of time. We want to hear about how you guys made that happen. So this was actually a slide that I created for them that talked about it. And I said, gosh, we have done some amazing things. So we were founded in 1988. So in 30 years, you'll see that we started all the way back in 1991, FOP Symposiums for Researchers. We launched a website in 1997. We started adding translations to that website in 2001. This is an incredible one. In 2003, volunteers began looking for multi-generational families that had FOP. And there are people in this room, Amanda and others, that were the people that looked for those multi-generational families. And that is how, in 2006, in just 3 short years after that, we were able to discover the gene for FOP. And the world has changed since that has happened. So you'll see that other things have happened since that time, since the gene discovery. The International President's Council, which is people in 18 different countries that represent FOP families, was formed. That was in 2007. We had a drug development, we started a research committee in 2012. The 2014 was the first drug development forum. And then that work continues. We started a competitive research grant program called the Accelerating Cures and Treatments for FOP program back in 2015. And this year we expanded our research funding even further through the $1 Million Bike Ride program, which you're going to hear about later. So it's just amazing the volume of activity that this incredible group of families and people living with FOP and physicians and researchers have done in a mere 30 years. So we're here at the family gathering to do 3 things. We're going to connect, and we're going to learn, and we're going to grow. So one of the things I want you to know is that the IFOPA is run by a board of directors. They are all volunteers. None of them are paid to do this work. And they are just like you. They are patients, and they are families, and they are very close family friends of people that live with FOP. And there are actually 4 of them in the room. Amy Gordon is our board chair over here. Christy Gonzalez is our board vice chair, sitting right next to her. Rory Otto might be in the hall with baby. Oh, there she is. There's Rory in the back. And Chris Bedford-Gay down here at the front table. So as you're going through the weekend, if you have thoughts or ideas about the IFOPA, they are your board of directors, so you should stop and have a chat with them. You're also going to see that we here, the IFOPA staff, are here to serve you. So Adam Sherman is our research director. Adam's over at this table. Hope Newport is in the back. She's your family services manager who's been emailing you like crazy. Catherine Royce is the newest member of our team. She works on fundraisers like the $1 Million Bike Ride. And oh, she's also in the back here. And Mary Ann Fitzpatrick. Where's Mary Ann? There she is. There's Mary Ann. Mary Ann works on the FOP registry, which is super important. It's one of the most important ways you can impact research, and we're going to talk about that on Sunday. So there is lots for you to be a part of when you're here at the family gathering. So if you probably don't have your folders with you, but I'm going to just show you a couple of things that are really important. So many of you have signed up for a meeting where you can ask a doctor or ask a dentist. Our FOP experts are so generous in giving of their time and being at this meeting to sit and chat with you and learn about where things are with you for FOP, with your FOP and other things that you might be facing. So many of you have signed up for that. And Amanda Callie is helping with that. She's helping pioneer that. Also, in that same area on the 4th floor is an incredible resource called Resource Connect, Tools for everyday independent living. So if you haven't stopped by, that room is open all the time. It's on the 4th floor. As soon as you get off the elevator and around the corner, you'll find it. All kinds of incredible resources that you have shared with us of things that you're using to live more independently. So you'll want to make sure you stop by the 4th floor and visit that room. So we're super excited. Adam's going to talk more about it on Sunday, but we have just launched with our friends at the University of California, San Francisco, and our friends at the University of Pennsylvania, and also at Vanderbilt University in Nashville. They're kind of the lead on this project to launch an IFOPA biobank. So we are establishing a biobank as a nonprofit organization so that we can share biospecimens with researchers, both pharmaceutical and academic, that have requested it, that need to use it to further FOP research. But the only way that's valuable is if it's the samples of people living with FOP. So I say that, but also we want some samples from people who don't have FOP to kind of use as a control group. So you have an opportunity here at this meeting, whether it's blood, urine, or saliva, to contribute to the biobank. You can do all of that, you can do one of that, and even if you don't have FOP, see, I've got my water because I'm donating blood tomorrow. So make sure that you stop by the registration desk and have an opportunity to sign up and get an appointment to make your donation. So we need people both living with FOP and people without FOP. Also, our friends from UCSF are doing a microbiome study. Many of you say you have gut, FOP folks have issues with their gut, and they're trying to study that and learn more about it. So we are looking for people. You don't have to make any samples today, but they're going to talk with you about what's needed, and they're going to give you the things that you need to go back home and send them a sample. And that program is important. What's especially important about it is we're looking for siblings to participate, and there are lots of siblings here today. You don't have to be a certain age. You don't have to even live in the same household. You can just be siblings, and you can participate in the microbiome study. So please stop and check that out with Vivian and Kelly. And that is also, you can sign up for an appointment to do that at the registration desk. So when we send out the newsletter, every time the newsletter goes out, I go into the system and I'm like, what's everybody looking at? I'm curious to see what you like to read the most. You know what you like to read almost the very most? Stories about each other. You like to hear what other people with FOP are doing. The only way I have those stories to tell is if you share your story. So if you go back to the registration desk, there is a list that says share your story. You can sign up for a 30-minute appointment. You're going to sit with someone who's going to ask you some questions, and then they're going to come back home. We're going to write up your story, and we're going to send it to you and let you preview it. And then we'll post it on the website, on social media, in e-newsletters. But you all love to read that. So I hope that you'll contribute to that program. It's really important. I think you probably already walked by Catherine, who's been sitting in the store selling all kinds of IFOPA gear as we talk about raising awareness. That's a great way to do it. So we hope you'll stop and grab something. You met Ed, our photographer, a good friend of the Gonzalez family. We are giving you the opportunity while you're here to have a professional photo taken. It is complimentary. We will send you the file afterwards. So if you want to have a family photo taken, if you want to have you and a special friend, if you want to have just a single photo taken, you are more than welcome to stop by the magenta room here on the 2nd floor and do that. And one thing we may ask you to do when you're in there, if you have FOP, is that we are collecting pictures of toes. So if you may be asked by Ed, hey, is it okay if I take a picture of your toes? And we hope that you'll do that because we're going to be doing an awareness campaign, and we need more and more pictures of toes, of different colored toes, of different size toes, little bitty kids to adults. So we hope that when you stop by that room that you'll take the opportunity to do that. And then we hope that, oh wait, you know what, I spelled it wrong. I just noticed the hashtag is wrong on my slide. So where's Suzanne? So Suzanne Hollywood is the #1 tweeter and hashtag user that I know. But that should say #18 FOP family. So we'll get the correct one up here later, but we do hope that you'll be tweeting about the family gathering. I talked about our wonderful sponsors. So one other thing I want to just mention is, so we're going to start tomorrow kind of an intense day and a half of learning. So you're going to hear about a variety of topics over the next day and a half. You're going to hear about research. You're going to hear about FOP care. We're going to talk about some physical stuff, but on Sunday especially, we're going to talk about some emotional stuff and taking care of your emotional health. We're going to talk tomorrow about clinical studies and trials. Dr. Scott gave an incredible presentation in Sao Paulo, Brazil this summer, and he's here to give it to us as well. We're going to talk about the IFOPA both tonight and a little bit on Sunday, and we're going to talk about ways that you can stay involved. One special thing that's happening on Sunday afternoon is that we are doing breakout groups where you get to sit in small groups around specific topic areas and learn more from each other and share with one another. So in your folder, you will find right behind your agenda a list of the breakout groups. So be thinking about what you want to participate in. So we're going to do an exercise. So, it's always interesting when you grow, interesting things happen. So there's almost 200 of you here. So yeah, taking the photo, big challenge. Another big challenge is going around the room and introducing yourselves. Just not possible when we have this many people here. So we're going to do a fun little activity to kind of get to know one another. I'm going to call out different things that are true of different people, and you're going to raise your hand if that applies to you. So I may say, who are the people from the Midwest? I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. Go Chiefs. So you might raise your hand if that's you. If you are a person with FOP, you also should have a flag, so you can wave your flag if that applies to you. So we are going to get started, and this is a great way to say, hey, who are all the other moms in the room? Who are the people that came all the way from the West Coast to be here? So we hope you'll enjoy this fun little activity. So if it's your very first family gathering, raise your hand or wave your flag. We've got a lot of people that are here for the first time. That's incredible. Okay, if you were at last year's family gathering in San Francisco, raise your hand. The Bailins were there. There's a few of us that were all there together. Ed Shao from UCSF was in San Francisco. Very good. Okay, if you were at the very first scientific symposium in 1991, who was there in 1991? Eileen Shore was there. Marilyn Hare was there. Where's Dr. Kaplan? There he is. And I see him. Oh, and Kay. Okay, awesome. So that was our very first, that's what the very first fundraiser funded. If you were at the first family meeting at Disney World, who was at that first family meeting at Disney World? Is it just Fred and Eileen? Okay, you'll have to tell us about it later. Okay, now if you've been to at least, we've had symposiums, there was a teen meeting, we've had family gatherings. If you've been to at least 5, raise your hand. And it doesn't have to be in the US. I see Antoine raising his hand from France and Moira from Argentina. Okay, so the next group is, if you have a brother or sister with FOP, raise your hand. All the siblings in the room. It's awesome to see you guys here. If you're a grandparent, who's a grandparent of somebody with FOP? I know we've got some grandparents in the room. Back over here, awesome. Okay, if you're a parent of a child under 18, where are parents? Awesome. Okay, so look around the room, see who else you want to connect with. If you're a parent of an adult living with FOP, awesome. Very good. And there will be sessions. Remember, check out those breakout group lists, sessions exactly for you. If you're a spouse, we have a lot of spouses here this time. Larry, Chuck, Nancy, very cool. Oh, we have a fiance. Oh, I should have said a fiance, because we have a fiance in the room in the back. Very fun. We also have several aunts and uncles here, or another relative. Where's the aunts and uncles? I know we've got some here. Awesome, very cool to see you guys here. Thank you for coming. Okay, if you're another friend or a family, or a non-family caregiver, Chantel, there's Chantel, there we go, there's Joe, awesome. Okay, if you're a doctor or a researcher, or I had to add, we have a medical student in the room. Where's Connor? There's Connor. But if you're a doctor or researcher, give us your hand and raise, there we go. Very cool. We have academic researchers, we have pharmaceutical researchers. Super cool to have you with us. Okay, we're getting there. If you're from the East Coast, where's our East Coast friends? Okay, that's what we thought. We're in Baltimore. Where's our West Coast friends? There's a few of you that made the trip. I love it. Midwest. There's a few. Where's Lori Henritte? She's from we're both Missouri. Bob is officially from the Midwest. Southeast. Anybody from the Southeast? Yep, from Tennessee. Southwest. Anybody from the Southwest? Okay, we're going to the Southwest in 2 years, so there you go. Canada, we have some Canadians in the room. And look, they're holding I want a picture of the Canadians waving American flags. That's what I want. We have a family from Mexico, the Ortegas. Okay, now the International President's Council met, so this means that we have other friends that are here. So we have friends from Europe. Where's Europe? Lots of friends from Europe. South America, Moira, and Africa. There we go. We have 2 folks from South Africa that are here. Very good. Okay, last go round. This is where we start to talk about getting involved with the FOP, with the IFOPA. Who has liked the IFOPA's Facebook page? And you might have to check and make sure you've liked it. Just because you like the individual posts doesn't mean you have liked the page. So check that out on your Facebook page. Who follows us on Twitter? Okay, if you're on Twitter, make sure you follow us. Who has gone to our Pinterest page and looked at all those cool boards with tools and resources? So if you haven't checked us out on Pinterest yet, we're going to, actually there's a brochure in your folder that has our Pinterest page name. So make sure you check that out. Okay, are you in a Facebook support group? It could be parents, it could be men, it could be ladies with FOP. Lots of people do that. Okay, if you've ever donated your birthday to raise money for the IFOPA, I know Nadine did, lots of people have. We're super grateful that you've done that. That's very cool. If you've held another type of fundraiser for the IFOPA, lots of folks do that. If you've ever helped raise awareness of FOP, you've been passing out bracelets, and we'll talk to you about how to order more bracelets and things like that. And then if you've ever served on the IFOPA's board or a committee, including the IPC, raise your flag. Very good, raise your hand, very cool. Okay, so there's a lot of us that interact with the IFOPA in different ways, come from different parts of the world, but at the end, what's so special about all of us, and that's why it's in our name, is that we're all really family. So you're gonna connect with one another, we're gonna learn, and we're gonna grow. So you will see in your sessions tomorrow a sheet of paper on the wall that says wish list. And if there are topics that you want to learn more about, just go over to the board and write down what those topics are. It's not the guarantee we're gonna do everything list, it's the wish list. But it's definitely a place for you to kind of park your ideas and share your ideas with us. Also, if there are things that you'd love to see in the store, put those on the list as well. You are gonna get a family gathering survey after this meeting is over by email. We hope you'll fill it out. That helps us not just plan next year's family gathering, but it helps us say, okay, what kind of webinars should we offering in the meantime? What kinds of articles should we be putting out? So it's really important that you complete that. And then we hope that you'll stay involved. One way to continue to grow is to stay involved. Be involved in the support groups, volunteer with the IFOPA, and help us fundraise. Because if we're gonna do more research and provide more education and support, it takes that fundraising activity of all of us.